All right, so starting this off, kicking this off. Movies. Anything good coming out this year?
I don't know, man. I saw, like I said, just that Bill and Ted's thing, man. I don't know. Blade, maybe? No?
No, I don't know. I know a lot of them aren't finishing.
Did you ever finish Star Wars Rebels?
No, I haven't. I got to finish the last one.
Yeah, you got to see the last part of it. They actually fixed, because they're terrible. Like the last, not the last three, the last, all of them are terrible, but the Lucas ones that are all CGI, that's the first three, the trilogy.
Yeah.
They actually fixed it with the Clone Wars.
Okay.
So it's like, okay. That's what happened.
Now I get it.
So that dude was like, hey, let me handle this.
Okay, so, all right, we're about a minute in. So, all right, how's it going? I'm Steve Mall. This is Justin Fisher. We are a WarWhiskey podcast. I am the co-host, and today I will be the host, hosting the show, guesting Justin Fisher, the host. So our first guest is Justin Fisher. Justin Fisher, nice to have you on the show.
Way too Titanic, that one. Yeah, thank you for having me on the show. Oh my goodness, that is a priceless intro right there.
Oh man, all right. So
it's like it fell downstairs. It's like what just happened there.
It kept on going and going and going and going.
It's like you try to catch it. It's like a person falling downstairs.
I couldn't stop. I had to keep going with it. All right, so. Why WarWhiskey and why a podcast?
I think it's a good platform. So I've been wanting to do a podcast for a long time, interview type series for a long time. I think there's a lot of fascinating stories out there. I really like it as far as it's a good venue for people to so because when you see like soldier stuff and military in general, they're always wearing a uniform. So if they're wearing a uniform, they're not. They're kind of insincere because they have to stay. They have to stick within the the left and right limits of the uniform, the brand, what the brand says, right? Like you ever see like a public announcement from like the Hill or something, it's horrible.
Yeah, because you get there's usually a camera, a PA, and somebody there
it's
with
like,
a script.
We here at the Arkansas National Guard foster, or like there's so much more to soldiers than just the traditional. There I was shooting up a building, or there I can't sleep at night kind of stuff.
There I was knee deep in terrorist guts. Oh
terrorist
my God,
guts everywhere, man. And like I saw one the other day, this dude was eating hot wings and talking about being in Iraq while in uniform.
No,
like none of it made sense to me at all.
No, it was like scripted.
Right. And I want unscripted moments, candid moments from soldiers. I think we have some great stories out there, and not just soldiers, people around the military, things like that in general. So it'll eventually be a good platform to broaden itself, but I'm tired of the canned stuff, and people want the real side of soldiering.
Right.
Not the, hey, here's $20,000, join. That's not helping the force.
No, you go private, stand in front of this camera, say this line, say it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so there's not going to be any cheesy catchphrase on this show right here. So,
all right, so that's what this podcast is going to be about, is getting soldiers' true stories out there, getting to know soldiers. So, getting to know this soldier. Tell us a little bit about your background there, Justin.
So I've been in for almost 21 years, which is not the sad part. Really. I'm from a very small town in southwest Arkansas called Hatfield. Growing up there in the 80s and 90s, it was 410 people. You basically knew everybody through proxemics. There's only so many churches. There's more churches there than anything. So, I mean, you had to be, this church. But you basically knew everybody. One school. The class I started out with in kindergarten was a class I graduated with. Yeah. There was it's like a fishbowl, right? So it's a safe place to live. It's pretty regulatory. The lights are going to be out by 8 o'clock. There's nothing going to be staying open really. And it's a good place to grow up.
Right.
It's not a good place to stay.
No, it's a good place to build your roots. Then you need to uproot and move
So
on.
you do get some roots. You learn some work ethic things. I came from a lower middle class family. lower middle class. I don't know if I can venture to be a little bit, PC and go lower than that, but we're gonna say there.
Okay.
Had land, not wealth.
Right.
So didn't have a lot of things and everything of that nature. But the mentality, you're born with a label. So, and I say this a lot. You're basically like, it's a generational talent. So like my parents are from there, their parents are from there,
Right.
et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So you're talking about maybe 5 or 6 generations of families that live there.
So like original settlers coming.
Possibly, yeah. But that's all there, right? So if your family, like I had a friend of mine whose family like said, "Hey, what do you want to be?" He's like, "I want to be a pilot." And they say, "Great, we will do everything you can to get you a pilot." He worked hard. He's a great pilot. He does some fantastic, great dude. Lives actually in this area, so he's done some great things because his parents. My parents' philosophy was, live here, marry here, die here. Here, as in their driveway. Like that's it.
Like right across the street.
Yeah. So and you got a lot of like, oh yeah, go get your basics and we'll and that's it. No.
Right.
There was never our full like intent on leaving that area.
So these pretty much keep you handy.
Right, because that's how they were. And that's how their families were.
Right.
So, and most of my relatives are still like that. I mean, I have relatives that live in Northwest Arkansas, but most of that belief is still in that area. So, yeah.
Okay. So, small town growing up.
Yep.
Childhood, friends, school.
Like I said, you're friends by proxemics. Growing up, I was skinny. I was a really small kid. Really small, really shy, really nerdy. Played a lot of Nintendo. Was an athlete, like a skinny athlete. Like I played basketball and ran track. I wasn't anything. Definitely a nice guy. Really shy, really awkward. Wasn't like developed socially. Definite friend zone. Oh yeah, definite friend zone. In fact, I say this story, and I told him I was going to do this. We had this little skating rink, which was like a old basketball gym converted to a skating rink. Right? It actually wasn't that bad. It wasn't, it was in the middle of town. It wasn't hard to get to. So it actually wasn't bad. A lot of life lessons were learned there.
Oh yeah, a lot of life lessons were learned there in the 80s and 90s.
But not by me, because I was just a square. So I remember this distinctly. Couple skate, boys and men playing. Saw this girl next door looking. I'm going to ask her. She ain't going to say no. Because back then, really, I didn't know the social construct of dating and how that works. So it's kind of like, hey, you go out with me? They say yay. They say nay. And that's it.
That's it.
If they say yay, you get to know each other, Letterman jacket, class ring, if you get them. All that stuff. So I cruised up on my skates because I was a good skater. That really worked out there. And I cruise up and I'm like, hey, you want to go out with me? And she's like, no. Like, it was like she had it loaded.
Like a preemptive?
Like, if I could be like, hey, I got $1 million, you want to split it?
No.
Yeah, that was it. That was it right there. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay, so that sums up, like, I was a good basketball player, and I got, I got one look back by college. My parents made me haul sheetrock that morning, so by the time I got to the tryout, I was just dead tired.
Oh, jeez.
And they were way better than me because I'd never actually played outside of a 1A school system, so I got just annihilated. It was a junior college in Fort Smith, so
So I
just got annihilated and tired. And so, yeah, we'll support you going, but we're gonna, there's that whole underlying. We don't want you to leave. Working, and when I got to high school, I was working at a lumber yard / hardware store. A really great family. But reality, well, that was it. I didn't have anything really. So I mean, I was just a nerdy kid working at a hardware store / lumber yard.
Okay, so graduated high school. Was military first thing on your mind? Last thing on your mind? Furthest thing from your mind?
So recruiters did try to come by and talk to me. My parents ran them off. Told people that I would never make it, and they want me to join, all kinds of stuff. And people from the community were telling me this, and I'm not blaming my parents. It's just facts. I'm just stating facts. I graduated probably May 12th, 99. May 13th, no plan. No plan. I was working at a place that a guy who'd been there 25 years was making $1.75 more than me.
That was just another Monday. Going
Just
to work.
no money going to work. There was no like, hey, graduate, what are you going to do now? It was like, nope. Hey, 7
Going
o'clock,
to the
be
lumber
here.
yard.
7 o'clock, be here, leave at 5. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of like, what do I do?
Now, for some people, that's the life they want.
Yeah.
But obviously not for you.
Most of my friends, I actually hung out with some older guys. They're a year older than me. They were all living there. So that kind of, you know, was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, the realities happened because we had this hangout. It's a small town mentality. It's a fishbowl mentality.
Right.
That, oh man, we can live here forever. Our kids will be best
Our kids
friends.
be best friends.
Yeah,
This, that, and the other.
yeah. And we're gonna stay here and we're gonna get some wives and all that stuff. Then one day you're just like, what is this? Why are we so sitting? We're graduated. Why are we sitting in the parking lot? Why is that dude bringing his kids to the parking lot? You know, and like when I was in high school, it was cool. Oh man, look at that dude. He's he's like in his mid-20s, hanging out. You know, his big old, you know, he hauled wood or something, so he made a lot of money. You know,
kind of like Matthew McConaughey.
Very Matthew McConaughey's running around everywhere, and then you start noticing it. You're like, man, I don't want to beat those guys. It's odd. You know, it's just kind of like, I didn't have a plan.
Right.
I know that I didn't know what I was going to do.
You didn't want to be there.
Right. I didn't know where to go. So I'd never really been anywhere that was, I could quantify and stayed there for a long time. And
Right.
up to that point, really, on a couple of nights, I've been gone from the house for camping trips and stuff. I never even been gone. So I was working with a guy named Davey Ashcraft. He joined the Army National Guard in the local unit. He said, "Hey man, why don't you join with me?" He's trying to get like a shirt or whatever he was getting, a bonus. I said, you know, I said, no, man. He's like, yeah. And something said, join. It's an infantry unit, so I came in as infantry. I said, okay, I'm going to join. My parents were like, even though they really, I was 18, they really didn't have a say, but they're kind of I was kind of living with them, so they kind of had some kind of control.
Right.
And then think about, I just graduated high school. They're kind of like, okay, yeah, because they're thinking of the old guard where people would go out and get blistering drunk on IDT.
It didn't do anything.
So they knew that nothing was going to happen. It was a big joke at the time, and it really wasn't. But that's their perception.
Yeah,
you know, the guard's perception. So I joined, and the unit I joined was actually I joined August 99. They were actually deployed to Kuwait.
So you ended up just meeting the rear D.
The rear detachment. I did meet a pretty cool cat named Chris Autry. He had same boat. He just got back from basic training. So he was kind of like in a holding pattern too. He lived in Northwest Arkansas. In fact, I didn't even know how to stand at attention. A lot of these cats today are like, oh, RSP has showed me so much.
Oh,
actually,
RSP.
Yeah, actually, no one says that. But, but you know, there's some kind of rudimentary training before they go, which I know the RSP program does a good job, I guess, to some degree. But however, I was just standing there like, what do I do with my hands? I was Ricky Bobby the whole way. Like he said, chin chin, like the E6 to call it. So I just put him against my side.
Flat palming it, smacking
Flat palmed it. Flat palmed it right there. Didn't know the cup or anything like that. So that was my first unit experience.
That was your introduction to the Army right there.
Pretty much. Didn't have a clue.
That was even before basic. So let's go ahead and get into basic. You went to, since you were infantry, you went to Benning, right?
Yep, Fort Benning. So basic was a lot of big experiences. I left right after New Year's Eve. I would or New Year's Day. I would love to tell you I had a great New Year's, but good thing I've been consistent and nothing. I remember standing around a campfire, and some dude who was like, he fit the typical like high school jock washout guy was like, oh, you're going to join the military? Oh, that's cool. Like I was like, I'd care to talk to him. But yeah, that was it. Went to basic training. First time I ever flew in a plane.
First time ever flying in a plane.
Yeah, that was traumatic. Not traumatic. It was just like, wow, people do this all the time. And there's people in there that's up there, they're 500. Right. Now I've flown, everywhere you can think, everything you can think. I took pilot's license. It's like, then I was just like, holy cow, this is awesome. Oh, he's giving me a Coke in the plane? Oh, I get free food. Yeah. So we're flying, and we land in Atlanta Airport.
That's a big cultural difference between Mina and Atlanta. That's a huge difference.
Right. And there's tons of people, and you're just like, oh my gosh, what's going on?
Like even the airport's got to be bigger than Hatfield.
There was more people in our hangar, our wing, our gate rather, than there was in our town. So the liaison gets us, right? The liaison gets us and says, everybody come here, get on the bus.
Right.
So everybody gets on the bus. And we do the 1.5 to 2 hour drive to Fort Benning from Atlanta.
Right.
So all you're trying to do is sleep, right? And you got all these kids on there, and they're from everywhere. They're like from New York, Minnesota, all them people. They're from everywhere, right? And they're all like trying to put the tough guy exterior up there.
Got all your different types of walks of life.
Yeah, like, when I get there, I'm going to bust the drill sergeant in the face.
Everybody's
you
got
know,
that
and you hear all this stuff going on, except for Country Mouse here. And I was just like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? We get there, and it's like, this guy comes, this cadre, we get to 30th AG, which is where they receive you at. This cadre comes under, and back then they had cadre, if you're stationed at reception or drill sergeants, you were angry. You were just mad. You're mad. And these
it's like a prerequisite.
These dudes started yelling at us. I didn't know what to do, so we got the bus. They herd us into these nasty barracks. You ain't gonna get no best choice Western.
Oh no.
Get in there. You get like an hour of sleep. You get up and you start your processing. And the processing was like just a shock because you're like, shuffle around, you do your paperwork. They take all your stuff. They issue you these gray PTs that you have to wear. Shave your head, which was traumatic because they're like, hair, no hair. Because people shave, right? And they got to me. I was like, don't tell them.
That one glimpse of hope that they're not going to pick you.
False hope, man. Next thing they're just cutting them. So I was bald, wearing glasses. I look like the kid from Major Payne.
Oh, after they
just pick one of those like real skinny, bald kids with glasses. That's me.
Uproot my little Brussels sprouts.
That was it. Yep. So I just had my head shaved with wearing glasses. Then they give you BCGs.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh yeah. Everybody loves BCGs.
Just woman killer, man. just slaying them. Not even close. And those gray PTs that don't accent the body at all.
They never fit. They always give you like a large size too big.
Right, and you have the issued New Balances, I think they were, or Asics. I can't remember what they gave me, but it was something like that. It's the same shoe everybody had.
Right.
So
everybody had the same thing.
And we do all that. We get our uniforms. Then we had to go through the notorious get your shots. And basically what they do was they give you all these shots. You have these privates who are out processing from graduating from basic and AIT. And they're like, hey, they're going to give you a shot in the nuts to help stem the urges. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, it's going to happen. And no, it doesn't happen.
And it goes from saltpeter to now a shot in the nuts.
Yeah, saltpeter's in the water. Yeah. None of that's true. No. Spoiler alert, none of that's true. No. You get a bunch of shots in your arm, you get some headaches, then you go on about your business.
And you move on.
Yep. You get to the last day, and you take this PT test. And it's like back then it was like a 1 mile run and like some 12 push-ups. And so it was easy.
Just to move on.
And some people failed that and went to the fat person platoon. I guess that's what they called them. Like that's how they referred to it. Like they didn't shelter it.
No. Are you stuck? You're going over there.
Yeah, basically that's what it was.
Okay.
And we got in our uniforms, got our duffel bags, and we met our drill sergeants. And they had like so much bling on their uniform. Like I remember it was like this aura. And they didn't say anything. They just like looked at us. Like I'm gonna eat your face.
It's like you can just feel the anger emanating
feel it.
off
Like
of
that.
them.
It was like a Friday afternoon. They didn't want to be there.
Oh, Black Friday.
You just feel it. And they put us in cattle trucks, which is not for public transportation.
Oh no.
So it is. I mean, I guess it is. So their capacity. If you don't know what a cattle truck is, it's basically a cattle truck with benches and some poles in it.
Right.
That you should haul really livestock in, but they don't.
No.
It's supposed to really hold like 15 privates. They put 75 in there.
Right, they'll come with their gear.
With their gear.
Yeah.
So your leg is like falling asleep with your duffel bag. So you're sitting like this. and they drive you around, and it's like the longest drive ever because you know what's going to happen, and you pull up there, and all these cow trucks line up, bam, 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 because they're unloading a battalion at a time, and you hear the yelling, but you can't see what's going on.
It's like,
Then the light busts in, and this dude comes in. He's like, "Welcome to Fort Benning, Georgia, home of the infantry. You got 3 seconds to get off the bus," which is mathematically impossible when you have 75 people.
And it's the quickest 3 seconds of your life.
3 seconds of your life. I would say it's the quickest. If I was gonna, if I was a betting man, I would say it's the quickest because it's like as soon as they exploded, it was like a scene from all the war movies.
Yeah, every single war movie put together.
Like all of it, like Black Hawk Down in Normandy happened in front of me. I came off the bus holding my duffel bags, and I'm just shuffling because they're heavy. Shuffling, you know. I haven't got any mass on me. They weigh more than me. I'm watching privates get annihilated all over me.
His body's falling left and right.
This one private in front of me, his duffel bag came open. And it was just like a Tide bottle getting kicked, his underwears and drawers, his personal items getting punted everywhere. Horrible. Horrible experience. And I'm running, and they're like, "Go over here, you know. I just jump in a line.
Right.
Don't even know how to stand really attention because I just learned it. And they're barking at you. People are doing push-ups and getting yelled at and stuff.
Just have no idea what's going on.
No idea what's going on. I just know that I probably made a mistake.
I went done did fucked up.
Yeah. I was like, well, scared to death. They kept asking me what my name was, and I tell them what I thought my name was, and it wasn't right. They wanted my battle roster number.
You're just a number.
Which was 3715. But they were just like, "No, stupid, blah, blah." I actually think my number was 211. I think it's, if I remember, because we were second platoon. If I remember, it's remarkable. I just recalled that. So, got annihilated all day.
Oh, yeah. All day, every day.
But the cycle didn't start till like the next week.
Oh, shit. So they had like 2 days to just screw with you.
So they just left us alone. Let
Really?
you sit, yeah. I mean, they messed with you, but they didn't talk to you. You weren't even alive to them. But you realized you were alive when it came time for day 0. You know, they wake you up, smoke you all day. Welcome to basic training. And it was just experience. You learned that in basic training, if you went to church, they didn't mess with you.
Oh, yeah. It was like the only sanctuary you had was church.
So I'm going to tell this story real quick. A group of us, little privates, because privates form cliques. That's what they do. And I mean, the military's a cliquish place anyway. Forming this group, say, "Hey, man, we go to," because it was like a month in, that we go to church. Drill sergeant leaves them there, leaves them at the chapel. It's Catholic church. I'm not Catholic, so don't know anything about it. Yeah, and yeah. If you remember your son's,
Yeah.
Thank goodness the godmother was telling me what to do.
Stand up, sit down.
Yeah, she
stand up.
nudged me, tell me to stand or sit. Yeah, I remember that. But he's like, "Hey, the PX is open." Okay, all right. So we went to church, then we snuck out to the PX. This truly happened. Went to the PX, and PX, no, AFI's gonna sell you anything. Don't care who you are.
No.
They sold us candy and Coke and all kinds of stuff.
Ooh.
We had in our pockets. And then that's when you had the calling cards, and you had your like the payphones.
Yep.
So man, we were calling home and having a good time. I think I was talking to a friend of mine, man. So living our best lives. And I heard, "What are you privates doing?"
Oh shit.
And so I was like, "This is true." And I kind of looked. I could see the tip of that brown hat on the other side of the phone. He didn't see me. So I remember hanging the phone up. Person's still talking, and I slowly started backing up. I told my buddy Ford, I was like, "Hey man," I was like, "Come on, Ford, come on, man, come on." And I got into the shadows where he couldn't see me. And I was like, "Hey, come here, private." And he was talking to my buddy, but he didn't see me. So I just learned how to kind of like low crawl and stuff. So I was kind of like low crawl, like
Putting
that.
new talent to use.
Like not like a good infantry low crawl, but more like the support low crawl, you know, where it's like half your body's in the air and the other half is like on the ground.
Just trying to scuttle out.
It's like I fell and like was scooting my chest with my butt in the air like that, like a reverse like animal. And man, this dude, so I had all this candy on me, and I buried it underneath this tree. That's probably still there today. If that tree is there, I can point it out. True story. And I buried it. And I go back to, and I just go back to the barracks.
Mm.
Because we were supposed to bring candy back for the whole platoon. And they're like, well, what happened? No, we got compromised. Just learn that word. Just learn that word too. They didn't know what that word meant. Just we got compromised. And
Shit went down.
turns find out, didn't get in trouble because they didn't know I was there.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't really get in trouble either. So
Okay.
I got smoked. I gave them a couple MRE treats going forward, and that was it. It wasn't like it was a major oh, that dude got away and didn't go down with us. It wasn't nothing like that. It was like every man for himself.
Yeah. Everybody.
The private code.
The private code.
There's the private code and NCO code.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that's your basic.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us what happened when you got home. You told us about what happened
So
before you
basic
left.
training is real good about breaking you down and getting rid of all those societal layers. It used to be, probably not now, but it used to be really good about that. So all that weakness and insecurity I had when I left, I came back different.
Right.
So I did what every private does when they come back. I made my bed and decided I was going to run every day. That's what every private does.
Oh, yeah, every private does.
I'm
going
going
to
to get
stay
up
this
and
way.
be a difference in the military. Difference in my, it lasted about a week. 3 days to a week. I gained a little bit of muscle mass. Had a little bit more upswing in my shake and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I got back while I was still working at the same lumberyard.
Mm.
So I had this whole traumatic experience where I changed. And I
Right.
was, you know what I'm saying? And that wasn't sitting good with me anymore.
No, you had this whole new world that you just experienced, and then all of a sudden, back to the lumberyard.
Right, yeah. And I was doing things with my unit. I started to go to college a little bit, but I still wasn't really focused on it because I didn't want to be there to go to college.
Mm-hmm.
That guy I met, Chris Autry, he goes, hey, man, why don't you come out? Because he would stay with me when we were dressing. He goes, why don't you come check Northwest Arkansas out? And I'm eternally grateful for him.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, Northwest Arkansas, huh? I only been there a couple of times with the family, when we could afford to go up there. I said, okay. So I went up there, and I saw, people who I'd never even, they didn't know who I was. And they're like, hey, man, getting to know them and liking them and stuff. And, people were staying out late, and this is lifestyle.
Totally different world than
Totally
you're used
different
to.
world. Just a sense of freedom. Like
the city life is up there. Lights,
kids
out
my
late.
age. Now, mind you, I was 19.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a young adult, technically. But, but socially developed, I wasn't. Because, I was still, from a small town. There's a hierarchy there that, a social construct that I was missing.
Right.
And you learned all these things. Like, you realize that, man, you start picking up different accents because you try not to, have, because, where I'm from, you've heard the Southern Arkansas accent. Like, if I really,
the big twang.
The twang,
yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but when you're around people who don't have it a lot, you tend to lose it. Like, I can't really divert back to it now. It even hurts to do it. But I started meeting these people, and they're like, yeah. When I was used to getting home at 10, they're like, oh, yeah, we're going to the
we're
movies.
just now starting.
Yeah,
out.
we're going to movies at 10. And I was meeting all these great, great people.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to move up there. And for the first year I lived up there, I slept on my friend's couch. But it was the most liberating experience.
Oh, yeah.
Because it wasn't where I was
own.
at.
Right.
I failed. I would rise. I would fall. All kinds of stuff. But I met some of the most amazing, and we're still friends today, people up there.
Right.
And I eternally indebted to him for extending the olive branch and doing that. A lot of fun stories, some bad stories, all good, but all that part of life development happened. Like I said, I had to take that step and go.
Right. Had your ups, had your downs, had your social construct.
And I ended up living
there.
up there for about 12 years, 11 years maybe, for a long time.
So it was little small country boy moving up to the big city.
It's straight Disney
just
movie.
Fell in love with it.
Straight Disney movie. Was it Five Goes West? Is that what I was thinking?
I think so.
Is that Disney?
No, that's not Disney. I don't think it's
Pre-Disney? I was Five. Yeah.
Okay.
Or
No,
is
we'll
it
just go with that one.
Or is it The Land Before Time? No, it's Five. Yeah, we're going Five. I was trying to think of Mouse. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to watch it. I don't think it's on Disney Plus.
I don't know.
Yeah. But if there's a Muppets in there, yeah, that's where it's at too. If there's like Five Goes West and the Muppets, and I'm somewhere in that
Somewhere in that
gray
area.
That gray area. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
All right. So we got you when you come home.
Mm-hmm.
You got to your unit. What was it like? You said you got to your unit before you went to basic,
Yeah.
and the rear detachment was there. Really not much going on. Was your unit back by the time you had made it back from basic?
Yeah, they were. They got back. I reported as a new private. They didn't care.
And didn't care.
Don't care. You. And it's something I ran into. It makes sense because you haven't proved them. You don't know who you are.
Yeah, you haven't proved your shit to me yet.
You know who you are. And it's something I ran into in particularly in this unit and other units. They're private. Hey, why don't you introduce a private film formation? Why do I even? Why?
No, why?
Why? I'm not going to take time to learn their name until they prove themselves.
Right. It's his line. It's his first line leader.
You
job.
have to, and that's the thing that we don't earn it anymore. They made me earn it.
Mm-hmm.
They say, okay, we're not going to learn your name.
No, like we
You're not going to talk to a squad leader. You talk to your team leader. So I had a real good team leader. He showed me a lot about being a soldier. He ended up becoming an officer. I don't even know what happened to him, but he showed me a lot about being a soldier. Mm-hmm. The little things that make soldiering good, like putting your helmet over your boots.
Right.
Map in the left pocket.
Yeah, the small little, hacks and, tips and tricks of the trade that they don't teach you.
The things like don't shower while you're in the field, or don't use baby wipes because after 3 days the smell, the bugs won't mess with you, stuff like that. Things, infantry things.
It's basic. Well, not even basic stuff. It's
things you need to know as a soldier.
Pick up,
to survive.
move on. Gotcha. Okay. So infantry unit in the guard. Obviously deployment 1, 2, 3.
3 deployments. Yes.
3 deployments.
Yep.
Afghanistan, Iraq.
Iraq 0405, Iraq 08, Kosovo 17.
Okay. So
17, 18. So yeah.
So tell us about your first deployment. That was early on, so that was pretty much in the heat of the battle when things were
so we
tough.
got activated for OIF 2. OIF 1 just kicked off. We did that. I remember my buddy Brad was with me when we got the notification. He was like, "Hey, we're deploying, man." I was like, "Dude, let's go party it up." So we drove from I was in Mina for something. I picked him up, and he and I drove from there all the way to Northwest Arkansas.
Right.
Partied with my friends, did all kinds of stuff. We were both on orders at the unit. That's how come we did it. And it came back. I had just gotten promoted to team leader because they fired my old team leader. They promoted me because I was better. Not the one that trained me, but a different one.
Right.
I ended up getting a dirtbag transfer.
Mm-hmm.
And I was better. They yanked a gal, PLDC, sent me, promoted me October 1. We got activated.
Right.
And trained up at the unit. Then ended up going to Fort Hood for mobilization.
Okay.
Right. Straight to Fort Hood. And we had the big parade and and stuff like that.
Big dog and pony show.
You're right,
Yeah.
right. I see all the people who retired right before the order hit because they knew it was coming.
And peace them out.
Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, so we all went down there to Fort Hood, and that was a tremendous experience.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to meet a lot of. You got to see who was the crumbs and who was the pie.
Oh yeah, that'll definitely.
Fat kid reference, basically. So
that'll definitely shake them out.
Yeah, and like the closer you get to deployment, and people are like, "Oh, my tricky knee."
It's like, I've got this. Oh, my kid that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that started happening a lot. But the ones who were there, man, we started forming this really like cohesive group.
Oh, yeah, that's where the glue starts to set in.
And I mean, some of the E5s and so we had this little mafia group. There's a group of us, and that we kind of formed it when we were E4s, and now we're E5s. Some of us, and we're just mafia, the true E4 mafia.
Right. Yeah.
Not this like, we're E4 mafia because they're dirtbag. No, this is true E4 mafia, and then we the E5 mafia. We're just mafia.
We actually make shit happen.
Yeah, we're divas. Mm-hmm. We're divas by nature, but we're divas, and we were known for going out in hardcore, and we went out a lot in Hood. Man, we trained hard, and then they turned us loose. We turned them loose.
Yeah.
Threw it down. Then we went to Austin. That was a pretty prestigious experience. I'm gonna leave it prestigious. I'm gonna leave the word prestigious in there. Then we ended up going to the coast and hanging out there. First time I saw the ocean and stuff. But the training there was cool. We were an active duty post. Saw some really cool stuff. Saw how rest of your soldiering group lives.
Right.
Which is some awkward situations. Then from there, we went to Fort Polk for GRTC.
Okay.
At Fort Polk, It's Fort Polk. It's JRTC.
Yeah, Fort Polk.
President Bush came down, thanked the whole active duty, but didn't thank us.
Mm-hmm.
And we were predominantly most of the group. He thanked like the unit, the Geronimo unit that was there.
Right.
Which if you ever done up against like the unit at Fort Polk, they're just notorious cheaters. They're like, we've never lost a battle. Yeah, you lose them all the time, sucker. All right, so he's thanking those cats, and we're all in the audience, and he was shaking hands, and I was like, the next one there, me and my friend, I'll never forget this. He was like, all right, guys, thanks. Good luck.
I was like,
this truly happened. I was like, are you serious? The Secret Service guy was looking at me all yelling. I was right there. And a couple of my buddies got to have lunch with them and something like that, but I wasn't one of those. And I went advanced party into Kuwait, which was a staging area for Iraq.
Right.
That's how that went down.
Okay. So in Iraq, where were you at in Iraq?
So Iraq, we were with 19 Cav, 3rd Brigade Combat Team out of Fort Hood, right? Mm-hmm. So we actually were separated from 1st Battalion. It was an area called Haifa Street.
Okay.
So Haifa Street at the time was called the most dangerous city or street in the world.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, okay. We got there, it was pretty quiet. And what was happening, the unit we replaced were doing these foot patrols because it was alleyways. There's nothing but alleyways. Yeah. And they were just basically running the whole time. Well, if you're out there running, you're not seeing anything getting hit.
No, you're not causing any mischief. You're not causing them to be more.
Right. So they were in and out in 15 minutes, and we started poking around and seeing stuff, and that's when things started to change.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Haifa Street. All right, so your first deployment was Iraq.
Right.
Combat. And your last deployment was Kosovo.
Right.
Not combat.
Super not combat.
So, big differences between your first and your last deployment. Sum that up for us.
So the last mission was a NATO mission. They follow NATO is a way different beast.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not. It's a very political deployment because it's basically what you have in Kosovo. You have two groups of people who are very similar but don't like each other.
Right.
And they're too stubborn to come together. So basically they're pumping money into the area to get each other to like each other, but it's not going to happen. In fact, I was there with a British recon team that was there during the invasion when they were smoking dudes. Mm-hmm. And he was like, it's the same. It's been the same the entire time, except we're not. He said, except we're not killing people.
No.
That's what he told me. He's an old sergeant major. He's cool as heck. But that's what he told me. It's the big difference is when we're in an infantry deployment or you're own battalion deployment. And I guess it's the type of soldiers, but there was a lot of camaraderie in 04, 05, and 08. A lot of camaraderie. Just some of my closest friends I've ever had in the world. People you can trust.
Yep.
In 17, you really didn't have that.
It was different.
You see, there's a dynamic shift in leadership. You see who got the get carried, and what you got was the people who didn't go on the juicy combat missions all jumped on the peacekeeping ones.
Right.
And we were just a presence, so we were really kind of like a hub managing stuff. Mm-hmm. And you see those guys, and you're like, "Wow, for your rank, you're terrible." I was, and that's the big thing is that there was no camaraderie, there's no like cohesion. Right. They all had their own agendas. There was no development. So there's me and Kira Sharkey, Jeremy Newman, a few other E7s, and we pretty much did what we could to mentor and develop and things of that nature and run things. So I was the FUOPS and CUOPS guy, so I had a lot of control of what's going on. But it was I guess that's a big difference, and the big difference is how you conduct your ROE and things of that nature.
I mean, because in your first deployment, you were actually ground pounding, foot patrols.
Right. Our first deployment was a lot of we did some. I'm not saying we did raids every day. That's what people say. We did 300 raids, but it's basically like we did a lot of foot patrols, presence patrols, which end up in getting into fights. We did a lot of raids. Yeah, we did. We did a lot of movement to contact, things of that nature in that area.
And then this last deployment, you were stuck in an office.
Yeah, pretty much. So the difference was I was company level then. Now I'm at brigade level. Mm-hmm. So brigade level, you're not going to be out there doing kicking in doors and stuff. We did a lot of great training though. I will say this: the operations cell for our last deployment did some amazing things. Okay. We set up some ranges on the border of Macedonia for the next cycles to use, which was an amazing experience. We did a really nice air assault demonstration, which was cool because like their air assault, like the area where they trained at was like people lived in the mount site. It was crazy. So like we'd have these rubber bullets, and we would they would come in, and like it would be family lives here, family doesn't live here. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like.
It's like, huh?
Yeah, but it was neat. But where they're at, I mean, you really would have to go kick the door in. But it's happened before. But we did a lot. There was a lot of soldiers who got foreign badges and things of that nature. We did, so we did some great training. We made sure because you weren't kicking in doors on that deployment. You were
actually
we were fighting off drama. That's what you were doing. So, and that's what happens. You got nothing going on, you're going to start drama.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, in the military, everybody has. Not everybody, but most people have what they call a command philosophy of what drives you, what your logic is, what your ethos is. What is yours, and how did you come up with it?
So mine is be you or be great.
Okay.
And it starts with knowing your vision. So I could have stayed, and so there's two types of vision. There's the one that you're given. Mm. And that's like by society, by your family, culture, environment, things of that nature. And it's kind of like what you're supposed to fall into, right?
Right.
The people are like, go be yourself within these parameters. Then there's the vision that you make for yourself, right? Mm-hmm. So you're like, I want to be this person. It's kind of like the Schwarzenegger 5 rules of success.
Right.
Think big. What do you want to be? Getting from this vision to this vision, there's some drifting going on here because you're trying to figure out what you want to be.
Right.
You're trying to figure out what you want to be.
You don't have a firm grasp on it.
I could be you, as I said, be you or be great. I could be me and say, which if you choose to be you, you're like, well, I'm comfortable. I don't want to change. But people don't like change. People don't like discomfort.
Could have been,
and I could have stayed in my fishbowl.
In the lumber yard.
Right. And right if that's their choice, that's great. But it wasn't my choice. I wanted my vision. I wanted to be something more. I just didn't know what that was. So that little voice that said, sign up, I did. That little voice that said, move, I did. And it's just been slowly shaping me. As long as you're moving in the water, you could just be circling. As long as you're moving and not sinking back here in this vision, you're fine.
Right.
It takes a long time, the vision. And you get these aha moments in your life where something will just click and you're just like, this is where I need to go.
Aha. I thought you were talking about the band. Aha.
Yeah. Well, it's a great band. It's a great band. It'll be for our sign-off day.
Yeah.
But you get these moments where it's just all of a sudden you're like, wow. And life is a series of those aha moments.
Yeah. It's like, now I get it.
Yeah. And it just lines up. And I had one in 17 that shaped me. Down deployed. I knew I was getting closer to what I wanted to do. And that's the secret right there. It's going to be hard work.
Right.
And that's while you're drifting, as long as you're drifting on your own and not having someone carry you, you're fine.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell a lot of people, because people are going to take the easy route.
It's too easy.
The society is set up for, especially in this organization, people get carried all the time. We see it all the time. And in the end, they might get that short gratification of rank or fame or whatever. They didn't earn it.
No, it's just given to
them.
The
ones who stay true and work and grind for their vision and choose to be great, they're the ones who will eventually be great. Right. You can you look at it and say like, and we look at the old mentorship kind of way, where it's like, hey, I'm an E9, you're E8, do everything I tell you to do. And don't think for yourself. No. I'll get you promoted.
Yeah,
and that's worked for decades. Yeah, probably even really recently as well. But you look at like, did they earn it? And they know they didn't. Same thing in anything in life. You can choose to get carried. Now there's some people like, hey, let me open the door for you.
Yeah, let me.
But you have to do the work yourself, or you won't appreciate the journey. You won't appreciate the moments that make you think that, wow, okay, this is where I should be going.
Right.
Wow, it's just like this podcast. Everything was shaping up to this podcast. This podcast might just be another aha moment, but it's going to take me to somewhere else.
Right.
And as long as I'm going, I'm not sinking, I'm fine.
Right. As long as you're moving.
As long as I'm moving.
Just keeping.
And you can just drift around as long as you're gaining information and knowledge and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I started the college process and ended up getting my degree in communications. So it's kind of like there was a lot of times like, man, this is taking forever. Mm-hmm. I was still moving.
Yeah, you
just don't realize it. And that's my command philosophy, really. Another thing that goes with that is you're going to take shots. Mm-hmm. You're going to get hit. The world's going to hit you. It's like that Rocky movie, you know. The world's going to beat you down. As long as you're getting up and still moving towards your vision, you're going to get there.
Right.
That's the thing. That's the thing what people want to say. As long as you're doing it, be great for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
be
do it
great.
For yourself.
Be great. It's okay to say that you're better than someone if it's true. Mm-hmm. If you fully believe that I'm better than you, it's fine. There's a difference between arrogance and confidence.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a very thin line.
Be great. There's so much pressure to be, have to be nice to everybody, especially in the military. Everybody wants you to play along and
play their game.
Be nice to everybody.
Behave.
Like, I don't choose to do that. You know what I'm saying? I won't. I'm great. I'm better than them. So why should I lower myself? Mm-hmm. If you have that mindset of winning and wanting to keep going, that's what the great people are. That's what they want to do. So you can be you, or you can be great.
Okay.
And I say it like this. I got a religious coworker, right? Super religious, great person, Charity Webb. I asked her. I ask you this. Jesus died on the cross for all man's sins, right?
Right.
Did he have to? Or did he choose to?
Chose to.
Be you or be great.
Okay.
There you go.
I get it.
That's what it is.
Cool. That's words to live by, and they've gotten you far. They've gotten you very far in the military. So, on a serious note, go ahead and what keeps you coming back? What keeps you focused? What keeps you so resilient about how you're doing?
I serve the greater good. I have a fundamental belief in serving the greater good, which is the Army. Mm-hmm. I don't serve the National Guard. I don't serve the state. I serve the Army. Right. And I've seen the bigger picture. Mm-hmm. I've seen it, and I know what's out there. I know what they are. I know what, I can tell what people are. Right. Combat shreds a lot out of you. And when you see, really what keeps me coming back is I miss the feeling of soldiering. I miss the feeling of being a soldier really brings me back. And it's not so much being in a full-time staff at a unit or something. There's a sense of being out there in it. Right. That's always going to be addictive. Mm-hmm. I miss that. I miss the serving the greater good, and that's what I do every day. So that's what keeps coming me back. Okay. So that's it, really.
Okay. So we are coming to a close. We're running up on 50 minutes. Are there any last words you want to give out there?
So going forward, next week we'll have Francis Hernandez.
That's going to be a good one.
The MMA fighter / recruiter / all-around cool person on the show. She's a great person. I'm so excited for that. The following week, the week of the 23rd, 24th, we'll have Kira Sharkey and Cassidy Tops on here. Both phenomenal people. I got off the Coast of O deployment with them. I've known Kira's been one of my good friends for 10 plus years. After that, we'll have a Brandon Mazander sighting.
Oh, man.
And we'll keep going from there.
Mazander. So, as you can see, we've got a lot of things lined up. People coming in, if you're interested, hit us up on the website, on Facebook. Go ahead and send us a message. We are WarWhiskey. We are a brand new podcast. This is our first episode.